Hello everyone! So today is actually going to be a review lesson about distributing and combining like terms. Distributing and combining like terms is something we've really been doing all the year, but it is also something that's going to keep coming up, especially in this chapter. So we thought it would be important to go back and make sure we really understand how to distribute and combine like terms. So let's start with some distributing review. The first problem I would like to review is this: 3 parentheses x minus 2. The first thing I notice here is that according to order of operations, I would need to simplify the x minus 2, whatever's inside of the parentheses first. However, because the x is unknown and there's no number for me to substitute, I can't simplify that. So in order to get rid of the parentheses, I'm going to distribute the 3. Now distributing means multiplying, so I'm going to distribute the 3 to the x and to the minus 2, which means I'm going to get 3 times x, which is 3x, and 3 times negative 2, which is negative 6. And that will be my final answer. The next problem I'd like to review is this: if we had 3x plus 3 parentheses x minus 2. So once again, I notice I need to simplify this, and I need to simplify what's inside of the parentheses first. However, I can't do that because I don't know the value of x. So once again, I'm going to start by distributing. Now the only thing that gets distributed here is this 3. We're just going to take the 3x and we're going to drop it like it's hot. Just drop it down. Then we're going to distribute the 3. Now when we do that, we get plus 3x minus 6. What I notice here is that my final answer here has some terms that are like terms. That means they have the same variables with the same exponents. So like terms means same variables with the same exponents. So in order to simplify this, I would have to combine them. The 3x plus the 3x would be 6x, and then I would just drop down the minus 6. The last problem that I want to review is this one: 3x plus 3x times x minus 2. So the only difference here is that now there's an x over here outside of the parentheses. Once again, I'm going to start by distributing. Now I'm going to drop down the 3x at the beginning. I'm not going to change it. And 3x times another x would be 3x squared, because an x times another x would be x squared. 3x times negative 2 would be minus 6x. So here I've got my variables changing a little bit. Now when I get to the end of the problem and I look for like terms, the 3x and the negative 6x would be like terms, and the 3x squared would not have anybody to combine with. There is no other x squared in this question. So I would just drop down the 3x squared, and then I would combine 3x and negative 6x makes negative 3x, and I would be done. So now that we've spent a little bit of time reviewing distributing, let's go through some more example problems where we use distributing and combining like terms to simplify an expression. So problem 1, I'm going to start by distributing the 2. So I'm going to distribute the 2 to the x and the 2 to the negative 4. I'm going to drop down the 3x. I'm not going to change it. Now 2 times x would be plus 2x, and 2 times negative 4 would be minus 8. Now I'm going to look for some like terms. So the 3x and the 2x are like terms, which means I can combine them and make it 5x. And then I'm going to drop down the minus 8, and I'm done. Let's take a look at number 2. So number 2 is a little bit different. Instead of having 3x plus 2 parentheses x minus 4, like we did in number 1, we're going to have 3x plus 2x parentheses x minus 4. So once again, we're going to distribute. Now I'm going to drop down the 3x. I'm not going to change it. 2x times x would be 2x squared. And 2x times negative 4 would be minus 8x. Now I'm going to look for like terms. So the 3x and the negative 8x are like terms. I can combine those and make negative 5x, and then I would drop down the 2x squared. However, I want my final answer to be in descending order. So descending order would say that the 2x squared needs to go first and then the minus 5x. This is descending order. So this would be my final answer. Now in number 3, I've got 2 different parentheses with 2 different things that need to get distributed. So let's distribute the 3x first. And when I do that, I get 6x squared plus 15x. And let's distribute the negative 7x next. So negative 7x times 3x is negative 21x squared minus 28x. Now we're just going to combine like terms. In this case, there are actually 2 different sets of like terms. The 6x squared and the negative 21x squared will make negative 15x squared. And then 15x minus 28x will make negative 13x as my final answer. And again, the answer is already in descending order, so I don't have to change anything. But if it was not in descending order, I would need to rearrange my answer. Number 4, let's start by distributing. So we're going to distribute the 3 to everything inside the parentheses. So I'm going to have 12x cubed plus 6x squared minus 12. And when I look for like terms, there are no like terms. The problem is already in descending order, so we're going to go ahead and stop there and put a box around our answer. Let's take a look at number 5. So in number 5, again, we're going to start by distributing. We're going to end up distributing 2 different times in this problem. So 3x times x squared is 3x cubed. 3x times 4x is plus 12x squared, and 3x times 5 is 15x. Next, we're going to distribute the negative 4. So we're going to have negative 4x squared minus 8x, and then minus 12. Lastly, we're going to combine like terms. So the 3x cubed does not have any like terms. I'm just going to drop it down. I can, however, combine the 12x squared and the negative 4x squared, which makes 8x squared. I can also combine the 15x minus the 8x. So I get plus 7x. And then I'm just going to drop down the minus 12. It has nothing to combine with. Now at the end of this problem, it's already in descending order and there are no more like terms. So I would just put a box around my answer. For problem number 6, we're going to go ahead and distribute. So I'm going to have 3y times another y, which is 3y squared, and 3y times 4, which is 12y. Then I'm going to distribute the negative 6. So I'm going to have negative 6y squared plus 12. Lastly, I'm going to combine like terms. Now in this case, the 3y squared and the negative 6y squared combine to make negative 3y squared. However, there are no other like terms in this problem, so I would just drop down the 12y and drop down the 12, and I'm done. That would be my final answer. Okay, that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful afternoon, and we will practice this tomorrow.